Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. It is 3/6, Wednesday night. I hope everybody's playing the lottery. Crap, I still haven't even got my lotto tickets. Did you guys get yours? Okay. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. I guess we'll give it a minute for people to, the people already join in. I don't know. I can't see. Just give us a second because I had to run straight into the studio, threw my headphones on, and still haven't gotten organized here yet. I guess we'll give it a minute for the people already join in. I don't know. Just bear with us for a second.
All right, cool. You're good.
Okay, we're good.
You can switch back and forth in case, but yeah. All right.
Okay, cool. We got videos lined up. We're going to talk about Fort Gates, St. John Shipbuilding, and we got a cool T-shirt to give away tonight. And what else we have? We have a cooler. I'll get to that stuff in a minute. Hello, Fort Gates. Well, that's pretty cool. Fort Gates has joined in. Anybody else? Okay. Anyways, Fort Gates. Well, before I get that started, it is cold. Please make sure to bring your pets in tonight. Do we know what the temperature is going to be tonight? I know we had frost here this morning when I woke up. Okay. Hello, Kim. Kim Peoples. Just bear with us for a second, Kim, and the rest of you guys and gals. While I get my notes. Like I say, I had to run straight into the studio. Chris was already going in here. He was doing stuff. So, hello, Skidmore. She says hello. Anybody else going to say hi to her? She got your microphone way up in the air. Okay. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about Fort Gates. I got St. John Shipbuilding. I got some cool stuff. I've got a couple of these bags I can give away right here. These are cool little tote bags. And then I've got a T-shirt. Hello, Doug. Let me get my stuff down here. Get my goodie bags. I got a cool T-shirt that I got to give away tonight. The only one that I have is large. And it is St. John Shipbuilding. Somewhere. There it is. It's a gray shirt. And then put that over there. And then we have this cool bag here to give away. It's a seat cushion, but it opens up into a cooler. I don't know if one of you guys want to set this up while I'm talking about it.
You can hand it this way.
No? Okay. Give us just a second. This thing is cool as all get out. It's a flat cooler like this, but you can sit on it. But it's also, besides being a chair, it's a cooler. It has a top and a bottom, and it opens up into like an octagon thing. Okay, Fort Gates. Let's see. Sue says hello. Doug, hello. Kim, hello. And Skidmore, hello. And a bunch of other people. All right. No, so I got to go with Mr. Dale the other day, or Captain Dale, over to St. John Shipbuildings. If you guys have never seen this place is bad to the bone. It has, I mean, they build some, here we go. I don't know if I can get it all in the camera. Let me slide back. Oh, it's upside down. There we go. Okay, we're going to give that away. We'll pull the drawing. Right now I'm going to stop it, so I'm going to put, let's see, 10 people in for the drawing. What else we got to give away? We have this to give away from Stars in Toledo. This is a CD. If anybody wants that, this is a song that was playing before we went on air. Take it to the breakdown. It's actually a really good CD, so if somebody wants that, we'll give that away tonight. And we'll give away the T-shirt. What? Okay. All right, we're back. I think we got it pretty much. Helen said, I want that. Okay, Helen. I don't know if she's talking about the CD or she's talking about the shirt or the bag. But I've got two of these, three. What have I got? Two or three of these to give away. Two of the bags, one of the T-shirts, one of the cooler, and I think we got some other stuff. We'll probably give that away on Friday night. Hello, Stan. Okay, so I got to go over to St. John Shipbuilding this past week. And this place, we've got some pictures that I took. Did I already get them downloaded?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to pop up some pictures here. If you guys and gals haven't seen this place is massive. But they're going to take Fort Gates Ferry, the barge, and they're going to redo the bottom of it for about $6,000, which is amazing that they're going to do it for that cheap because the thing is almost 100 years old. But they're going to do it, get it painted up, and take real good care of it. Let's see. They've got all kinds of, I mean, these are huge, huge ships. There we go. There's one of them. That's one that they built. We got some other ones. I love boats. It's funny because the guy I was talking to over there, he's like, I don't even own a boat. Yeah, Stan said they built some wild stuff over there. We got all kinds of pictures. Not only do they build stuff, they bring, there's another one. That thing is humongous. Now, some of these are pictures that I took off of pictures that were hanging on the walls. And then we'll get to some of the pictures that were actually the shipyard there. Let's see. Yeah, we won't put any of these up, Chris. Let's put up the other pictures. Yeah, let's put this one up. This one and this one. This right here is they're in their manufacturing process there. They bring in the raw steel, and this building is freaking huge. I mean, it is massive. That green thing over there is about 12 foot wide, and it pulls sheets of steel out, and they spray the sheets of steel with a coating, and it keeps them from rusting. That way, when they're building ships, if you look in the back right-hand corner, you see those massive cranes. I've got pictures of that we'll put up in a minute. There's another one right there of the sheets and stuff that gets pulled up. But this place is humongous. It's 96 acres, and they build some massive ships there. Yeah, that's the one. You'll see these sheets of steel here, and these things. And people, not only do they use these for their boats that they're building there, but people bring in their steel from all over the country to get it sprayed and treated here. That is cool as all get out. But anyways, they have decided, Kim said she used to ride the ferry, Fort Gates Ferry in the 60s. Hello, Tammy. Tammy, if you can let me know if Tammy's my partner in crime over in Tampa. Let me know if the shelter is open over there tonight, the cold weather shelter. Do what? Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my pictures here. Let's put some of these big, yeah, there you go. These guys and gals over there, like I say, they manufacture everything over there. I mean, every single part on a barge, a ship, a boat, they manufacture it out of raw steel. They cut, they grind, they do all this stuff. And I didn't get this gentleman's name or any of them's name because I didn't want to stop them from working. And then they don't powder coat it, but they spray the stuff down, and then they spray it, and it gives it, I don't know, like 100 years lifetime on it. She said that's on Stoke Landings, right? Is it on Stoke Landings? Yes, it is. Kim. But the things that they build there are just incredible. But what I'm really impressed with is that they're going to take and bring in the ferry from Fort Gates, and then they're going to flip it over. They run all these kind of electronic tests to tell how thick the steel is, if the steel needs to be replaced. But this 100-year-old barge or 80-year-old barge, they're going to completely get it up and running again so that it can start working. Now, I have found out some stuff on Fort Gates. The county had to give back, and I've been waiting for a meeting with them, but for 2 weeks I haven't gotten a call back. I will be in on the meeting on Tuesday, and I will be asking our county officials. They had to give back $400,000. And I talked to FDOT yesterday, which is Florida Department of Transportation. And what I've been told is there were grants to get the landings and stuff fixed. But come to find out yesterday, guess what? There are no grants. The county had to give back $400,000 because it didn't get used. Now, I don't know if they had to match the monies or what the reason was that they had to give it back, but $400,000 out of $1.2 million had to be given back. So it doesn't make any sense to me. And now there's no funds to build the landing. So what are we going to do? We're busting our butts to get the barge fixed and to get the, Todd says they're always lying. Well, yep, let's putting it mildly, because from what I've been told and what I see and the facts, you know, like I always say, there's three sides to every story. There's your side, their side, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth. On this, there's a bunch of different sides, and still trying to find out where the truth is at. The truth is, according to the Florida Department of Transportation, they are not going to stick any money into the landing. They say that's the county's responsibility. And so far, nobody from the county has been able to tell me when it will be up. Now, by May, we're hauling that boat up there this coming week. Now, if somebody has a boat that they can help us get that barge up with, because we don't want to take too windy. And do we have it, Kirsten? Can you find a picture of too windy for me? The tug it's at 4 gates. If not, I've got one on my phone I could send over. But too windy is the barge or the sailboat that was converted into a push boat or a tug back in 1918. And the thing has been up and running. Of course, it's had a couple of motors in it, but it's still the original hull, the original wheelhouse, and all that. And what we're doing is we're cutting the top of this thing off. There it is right there. Now, that thing was built in 1910 and converted into a tug in 1918. It was a sailboat. They cut the bottom off and made it into a boat, just so they could push people across the water. So from 1918 till now, this thing has been pushing across the river, pushing a barge. Now, the barge itself was made in 1930, 1935, around in there. So it is a big barge. It's 15 by 40, and it'll hold basically 2 cars. Kim wrote, that's BS. Sounds like we need some new officials. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, Kim. Stan wrote, when I was younger, man, I worked at Bethel Steel, Sparrow Point, MD, second class ship fitter, and third class burner. Thank you for your service, Stan. The tug too windy. Now, Lowe's has agreed to donate some wood and stuff. I've got to go drop off a letter to them tomorrow. Home Depot has already donated some paints and some other things, some sandpaper, and we've already picked that stuff up. It's actually down at Fort Gates now. So what the plan is, we're going to cut the top of this thing off, and then we're going to replace it, and we're going to make it look like it did in 1910, 1918. So the wooden deck is going to be there, the wooden wheelhouse. We're going to take the old wheelhouse off of it, and we're going to set that, basically the deck, which you see the top part of the boat. We're going to set that over by the river, so when any kids come there or anybody that comes there wants to take their picture and look like they're driving that thing across the water, it'll be a photo booth, basically. And then we're going to rebuild the top end of that tug. Now, the hull is going to stay original, and the wood in there is in immaculate shape. So we've still got to come up with about $12,000 between the materials we need for the tug and for the barge. So we need people to donate. So, I mean, share the stuff with your friends. Let's see. Kim wrote, doesn't it go across the Ocala Forest? No federal dollars. Well, the federal grant, Kim, from the FDOT, $400,000 had to be given back. Now, I'll get into a little more of that. Let's see. Todd wrote, nothing's going to happen right now. There's a standoff between the Forest Service and Putnam County in regards to the road repairs. They can't come to an agreement on easement because Putnam County is standing behind the fact that they got, switched around on me. Putnam County is standing behind the fact that they got in trouble over the audit. Well, yeah. Chelsea wrote, just curious. Hello, Chelsea. Just curious. Not sure if you have discussed yet, but what about your thoughts about the sale of the old school board building? The building sold for $10. Let me get through with this Fort Gates thing, and then Chelsea, and we'll get to that in a minute. My thoughts on that. That's going to take a minute. That pisses me off. School building that could be sold for $10, and then it has a buyer for $400,000. But the Fort Gates thing, we need to get somebody that has a boat. Now I've got a little boat that we could try to push it up there with. It's about a 16-mile track up the river to get the barge up there. We really need to get it up there this coming week. If you know anybody that has a boat that we can hip up to the side, because we already started doing some work on Too Windy. We don't want to stick it back in the water, because if we do that, it's fiberglass on the outside, but we really need to strip this thing down. Now, what's going to happen come May, we're going to have the barge ready, and we're also going to have Too Windy ready. Now, guys, hang with me. Too Windy is the name of the tug. We're going to have both of those done by March, or by May. When we get those done, I have a feeling that the landing's not going to be done. There was money that was spent on drawings. I'm going to take you guys all the way back to 2002, all the way up. Along the way, the Historical Society and the DPE, St. John's Water Management, Army Corps Engineers, to the state of Florida, all said in all the reports that the thing needed to be a wooden dock that needed to stay historical. Well, somebody thought it would be a great idea to let's just spend $200,000, I believe, and I don't take it for take it for what it said from what I've seen on paper. They spent $200,000 basically on designing a concrete floating landing, when clearly in the paperwork it says, and it's a historical thing and needed to stay wood. But yet $200,000 of our tax money, apparently, now I will find this out for sure this coming week when I go to the meeting on Tuesday, got spent on the design of a concrete landing. That's ridiculous. It needs to stay the way it is. And then somebody had written in about the roads. They keep bringing up asphalting the roads. The stinking road has been the same since 1780, all the way till now. Why change it now? It does not need to be asphalt. The county does not need to dump any more money into asphalt. The state does not need to put any money into asphalt. The whole romance of this thing is it's a dirt road. Right now, it is a road going to nowhere, because you drive down to the river and that's it. I mean, you can get to Fort Gates Fish Camp, but that's about it. So it says, did anyone talk to Kay, to Crop, or Mike on the other side street across from the ferry? He lives there. Yeah, Todd, I tried going over there, Krabby Mike, and every time I go over there, Krabby Mike's not there. I don't know if he's up in Jacksonville getting crabs right now, or if he's in South Florida, but I have not seen him there in a couple of weeks, and I don't have his phone number to call him. So, would the batteries die?
They're close to.
Okay. Gotta get batteries for the wireless mouse. There's some in there under the desk if you have to grab them. Jolie said, is there any way that we can make a temporary landing once we get the barge and boat ready? And Stan wrote, why not ask PCSO to go get, they got the boat to do it. I don't know, because it's privately owned, Stan. I don't think that they'll do that. I don't think that they legally can because of their insurance and stuff. I have not asked them, so I'm not sure. I'm just trying to keep it where the citizens are involved, and so that we can show the county we don't need them, you know. Chelsea wrote in, just FYI, talking about throwing around money. A couple of years ago, Putnam County spent $15,000 on a new road equipment, then turned around the next year and spent another $100,000 on the road equipment, stating that they didn't get the correct equipment the first go around. Yep, I've heard that before. Skidmore wrote, maybe to try to get construction companies in the area to donate supplies and laborers for their advertising and tax write-offs. I have done that, and so far it's not working out that well. Now, I am working out something with St. John's Shipbuilding, but still we've got to pay for the materials and for the certification of the barge and stuff. So that's where the $6,000 comes in for that. And then it's about $6,000 to actually bring that 1910 tug or 1918 tug back up to specs where we need it to where it's going to last another 100 years. But I hate to see this thing go away. I mean, it's a part of history that's still functional, you know, and it makes no sense why the county would have to give back $400,000 of money. I mean, that could have been placed in the landing. Now, when I called the FDOT up, Florida Department of Transportation, they told me that they will not give any more grant money for it, period. I mean, there's certain things that they might be able to get some for, but they're not giving it because the old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. So we have a video that Cletus went down and did the other day trying to raise funds. So we're going to put that up for a minute. It's about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes long. So if you guys and gals want to see it, and then share the video. You know, we're going to put it up after the show. It'll be up on the Putman Way and on IITW Radio. But you can share the video. Let me know what you think about the video, by the way, because Cletus was in here wanting to know if we showed the damn thing yet. Sean said, I love the place. I will be down soon. Do we have the video ready? Okay, here's the video.
Boss, they barge! They barge! Boss! Boss, they barge!
All right, Mr. Screw, by God, be quiet. Calm down there, little feller. Hi, I'm Cletus. This is my cousin, Mrs. Screw. Not tattoo on Fancy Island, but Mrs. Screw in Georgetown. Now, we down here trying to help Mr. Dale save his barge. He's got a whole bunch of work needs to be done on that tug and that barge, by God, to get
Boss, the barge!
I know it's the barge, by God. We're trying to get it
I
fixed.
want to ride. I want to ride on the
Calm
barge.
down. Calm down, little fella. All right, well, we trying to save this thing. Oh, here come Captain Dale right now. I'm going to get one of them there interviews with him. Captain Dale.
Yeah.
How long has this barge been down?
Oh, about 18 months.
God almighty, 18 months. Hell, you must be starving by now. You look skinny.
Yeah.
You got to get to work. People got to help raise some money.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you need to have done to that there barge?
Well, I got to have a new bottom put in it.
Holy crap. And what about that tug over there?
Oh, it needs a new deck put on it and a new paint job. So.
God almighty, how much we talking about? $1 million?
Oh, no, just a few thousand.
2,000? Like 12,000?
Yeah, they'll do a good job.
Well, hell, everybody needs to donate. You know what? You can't push that barge across right now, but it's floating, right?
Yeah, it's floating.
Well, hell, I got an idea. You got to somebody with $10 because the price has been the same since the 70s.
Yeah, it's been the same.
Okay, I'll split the money with you if I get it all right, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Dale, thank you, my God.
The barge.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get you out there. I'm going to take your butt across the river. Calm down, you little midget munchkin. Whatever the hell you is. All right, I'm going to go over here now. Thank you, Mr. Dale.
Yep.
I got an idea. Hang on there. Got an idea, by God. Okay, I'm back here now. I got something I'm gonna help Mr. Dale out with getting some groceries. He needs some victuals, my God. All right, you ready, Mrs. Screw?
The barge.
Now here's
the
my
barge.
idea. What was that?
The barge. The barge.
Damn it, you don't quit saying I'm gonna beat you with a sword. What in the hell is wrong with you? I got it. Say it again.
The barge.
You old smart ass. All right, what I'm gonna do, since that tug ain't finished and there ain't nobody donating, we need $12,000, by God. I'm gonna start doing this crap on my own. And the county needs to get out here and fix this thing, because I ain't waiting no longer. It's been 18 damn months. All right, you ready? You hold on there,
Ready,
and I
boss,
better
I'm ready,
plant them
boss.
feet in. What'd you say?
I'm ready, boss.
I thought you said that damn barge stuff again. Don't you say it when I push out of here.
The
You
barge.
ready? By God. All right, I'm gonna get this thing across the river. You wanna ride? Come down and see Cletus and Mr. and Captain Dale. We'll pull your butt across the river. Hang on there, Mr. Screw. Hang on. Am I getting anywhere?
Boss, Boss, they barge. They barge. Ooh.
Cletus is a mess. You know, we joke around a lot and stuff, but the seriousness of it is this barge is going to be gone, or the ferry is going to be gone if this landing doesn't get fixed.
Boss, they barge. They barge. Boss.
Cletus is going to beat that little munchkin. Anyways, if you want to keep seeing more of the Cletus videos, we'll keep putting them up. I'll get Cletus to do them. The guy's a nut job, but the seriousness of it is that we don't want to see this piece of history go away. I mean, it's something you could take your kids to, and I keep saying this. I've done a couple shows on it already. This thing needs to be up and going. You need to share the GoFundMe link. Now, for you that are listening on the radio station, you can go over to Facebook on the Putman Way or IITW Radio, and you can find the link there for the GoFundMe account. Or you can go to YouTube, and you can check it out there. And the important thing is to get this thing shared over so that people will donate. We have to get this thing, and we can't rely on the county. Now, the barge and the tug are separately owned by Captain Dale, and he doesn't make jack squat off of this. It's $10 to go across the river, and that saves so much time and fuel, especially if you're in South Putman. But even if you've never been across that, that's the part of the Florida Black Bear Trail. I mean, it's so cool to just go right through the Ocala Forest. I mean, you can shoot over to Silver Glen. There's all kinds of cool places over on the other side of the river that you can go to. If you're on the other side of the river, there's all kinds of cool places that you can go to on this side of the river. There's restaurants. There's all kinds of history in this area. But to take a piece of history and be able to go on the same barge that's 100 years old and the tug that's 108 years old, and they live that experience, especially with your kids, for $10, I mean, come on. That's cheap. That's for a carload. That's, for the vehicle. So we need to save this thing. You guys and gals have not let me know what you think about that Cletus video.
Because you haven't read through comments, so I was just...
Oh, okay. Joey just joined. Let's see. Request all the documents, emails, phone records, and other information pertaining to the ferry dock and related subjects under the Freedom of Information Act. By law, they must give it. I have those, Doug. Some 300 pages that I have to go back through. Private emails from the road department, and private emails, county official emails, budget stuff. Steve wrote how the donation's going. I don't know where we're at 417 now. I'm gonna have him recheck that real quick. Okay. It's at 517. Oh, cool. It went up another 100. So we got $6,500 to bring in. So it's a start. But if you guys and gals can just share the GoFundMe link, and make sure you tell people this is not something. That barge, like I said before, Mr. Dale owns that. Him and Dick Jones both own that barge and that tug. They don't make squat off of it. They go in a hole on this thing. At $10 to carry cars across the river a mile and stuff. And he works 6 days a week. If you add in the maintenance and everything that he has to do, and I've heard from some of the people at the county, well, what kind of maintenance is he doing? Look, if you've ever owned a boat, especially one that's over 100 years old, there is maintenance on it. Boat stands for break out another 1,000. And with that barge, Mr. Dale keeping that thing, Captain Dale keeping that barge floating is a miracle. I mean, that thing's 100 years, right at 100 years old, and that tug's right at 100 years old. To own a boat is not cheap. So we need to support this thing. Now, like for everybody, I'm going to announce in a couple weeks, to come down there with the cars and line up along Fort Gates Ferry Road, so that people can, the county and our government and everything. I've got meetings coming up with Ted Yoho, Rick Scott, Ron DeSantis. I'm trying to get all these different county and government officials involved in this thing. I'm not going to sit there and smear them, although I could, and it would not be hard to do. The thing is that this belongs to the residents. We don't need to take any more tax money and have that, our tax dollars go to that. Not when it's only $12,000 bucks. I mean, you can't even come close to buying a boat for that, especially one that's this age. And Mr. Dale does this, Captain Dale does it because he wants this history to stay alive. He wants to pass it on to his 12-year-old grandson, who now wants to get involved with it, and he wants to be the next captain coming up.
He's actually going to be involved in rebuilding the boat so that he can learn how to do it. So when it comes his time, he knows how to maintain it from the beginning. So
yeah, I mean, that little kid is pretty cool. What's his name?
Jacob.
Jacob. Yeah, Jacob wants to go down there. He's starting to go down there now. He's going to be involved in helping rebuild this thing. So when he gets 18, that's all he wants to do the rest of his life is to just take this thing and run with it. And then so it'll be around for the next 100 years. Now, the people that donate over $100, your name will be put on a brass plaque down by the river. There's going to be a brass plaque there when it's all finished, and it'll have the names of everybody that's donated over $100 right on it. Now, there will be in a book, if you donate at all, there will be a book down there inside of the office that people can look at, along with pictures and stuff. If you donate, make sure you please send me a picture so that we can get this put in the album of everybody that's donated and help keep this thing around. My grandfather told me something when I was little, and it stuck with me all my life. He said that most people, when you die, 10, 20, 30, especially 50 years from now, nobody's going to know who you are unless you left a mark. Now, think about it for a second. How many of you know who your great-great-grandparents were, or what they did, what they liked to eat, or if they left a mark on history? Chances are you don't even know their names. Hell, I do, because I've got books that were passed down from generation to generation to generation. But I would venture to say that 90% of the people in the United States don't know, and this is not going back and saying, oh, I did this 23andMe, or I did the, I went back and did the Ancestry.com. I'm talking about how many stories have been passed down that you know about. This is something where people can come back 100 years from now and say, oh, well, this person donated, like Betty and Wayne Vay donated $85. They're going to have a picture in the book, and their kids, grandkids, their kids are all grown now, but their grandkids and great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids will be able to come back and say, oh, yeah, that was my ancestor. They helped keep this thing alive. That's what's important, Let's see. Oh, wait, we'll go back to this one. It says he fits right in. Skidmore wrote, Lord, he fits right in to Cajun country. Cletus is a mess. He's talking about the Cletus video.
Okay, guys.
Kim wrote, it was hilarious.
Travis, about 10 minutes ago, we started the contest for the cooler giveaway.
Okay.
It's posted in the bottom of the page right there if you want to read it.
Okay.
What's in the bottom? There you go.
Okay, gang. Okay, it's time for the cooler giveaway. Okay, to win the cooler, type in the comment, I want to win the cooler. Thank you, St. John's Shipbuilding.
And you want to show them
here's
the
the
cooler
cooler
again for some of the people that just joined in with us?
Yep, if I could slide my fat butt back here.
Here's a kick butt cooler.
Yeah, it's also a chair you can sit on.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that's cool as all get out, it's got a lid inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's actually pretty good size inside. Has a strap that comes with it. And then the cool thing is it collapses. And then there's a cool tote bag that goes with it. Oh, let me get it back here. I'll just toss it down here. And there's a cool tote bag that comes with it. So you can carry it around. We're coming up on beach time. But this is also a great thing when you get it and the ferry gets up and running. You can take it across over there to Glen Springs or Silver Springs and then take the kids out. And then for you guys that like to drink your beer, how much beer do you think that thing will hold? At least a case.
At least. That looks like an 18-pack at least, or 24.
Yeah, the thing is up, well, midway on my calf, so it's about 2 feet high and about that big around. So anyways, we will do the drawing for that in like 10 minutes. The shirt that we're going to give away, if you want to say, put on there, I want to win the shirt. Thank you, St. John's. Or what are we going to put up on that? I guess I'll see you in a second.
That's gonna go up in about 10 minutes.
Okay, that'll
I
go
figure
up.
if we did that, we draw them both at 8:30.
Okay,
That gives
and we
more
also
people that are
have
just joining in.
we also
I thought we could do the shirt with the bag, so I give them the shirt and bag together.
and then we also have another one of these totes to give away as well. Matter of fact, I'll get St. John Shipbuilder to throw in another shirt that'll go with this tote right here. All we have is large on the shirts, which will not fit me. I'm an extra large. Now, for you that ask about the building over there, and I'll come back on Fort Gates here in a minute. For you that ask about the building over there, I saw Rick Surrency on channel was First Coast News. That doesn't matter. It was on First Coast News where they were interviewing. Turns out the building that was the old school board building over there. I lost sound in my left ear. I don't know if that's affecting the show or not. There it is, right there. Thank you. Chris, say hi. Chris is the one that keeps everything running in the background here. Oh, the Hobbit's here. Say hi, Hobbit.
How you doing, everybody, tonight?
That's AKA Missing Screw. Yeah, it's Kim wrote, thank you, St. John's Shipbuilding, for all you do and employing in the county. And she says, I want to win that dang cooler. We'll find out because it goes into a randomizer. So I don't know who's going to win it, who's not going to win it. I just know it goes into a randomizer. And we'll be, like I say, we'll be spinning that thing here in a little bit. Do we have that information? On the fort. Okay.
What information are we talking about?
It's right here because I don't want to put it up unless we have it.
What information on the fort? What information on the fort?
Right there.
What information on the fort?
Okay, never mind. I'll wait and do that on Friday night. Anyhow, on that building that the school board had, from what I understand, the school board building, and I do have a lot more information on it, but I don't want to release that until Friday night, till what's pissing me off. The school board building was sold for $10 to Lift Putman. Now, I'm going to get into Lift Putman and a bunch of other stuff. The money was supposed to go toward going back into the pre-Ks and the kindergarten and going back into the school system. But they had to dump it off because they only had a small timeline. So they had to dump the school board building off. They sold it to Lift Putman for $10. They had a buyer come in for $400-something thousand. Now, the state come in and stopped that and put the kibosh on it and did an investigation on it. So I'm waiting for the final outcome on it to see what's actually going to happen. If that $400,000 is going to go back into the school, or if Lift Putman is going to keep it, or if some of the people involved in Lift Putman are actually going to benefit. So there's 501(c)(3)s. There's all kinds of stuff that I've got to go into Friday night, but I don't want to say anything until I get all the incorrect information. I don't want to give half-assed information out and then wind up taking a chance on getting sued. I don't care. They're not going to get squat out of me. I don't have anything. And plus, I have enough attorney friends that would tie it up for years in court, so I'm not worried about that. My thing is I don't want to give half-assed information, and I don't only want to give – I want to make sure that everything I give is for fact. So just bear with me. Tomorrow I'll be doing a lot of reading. I've got some 300 pages of stuff that I'm getting ready to dump out here, especially since I haven't heard back from the county or anybody else. Let's see. Who sold at $10? That's the building over there, the huge building over there that used to be the big school board building. That's not too far from, what's the ice cream place over there? Dairy Queen.
The Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I don't know what road it's off of, but it's at where that little Y split is at. Who signed the school? Who signed it? Skidmore. That was the school board. This is the one who sold it to Lip Putman. So I've still got to read the AG, the Attorney General's report, and then the state reports and everything. I do have them in my possession. I just haven't had a chance with working on this Fort Gates thing. I received them a few days ago, and I just haven't had a chance. And I didn't want to release it before the release date, which was actually yesterday afternoon. Yep, the old Coke plant. I believe it was the old Coke plant, wasn't it?
I thought it was the Campbell building, but I'm
The Campbell
I'm
building.
double checking my facts.
Yeah, it was the
Give me a
Campbell
minute.
building.
I'm double checking to make sure.
Yeah, so it was the Campbell building.
I'm waiting on the computer to make sure I got that correct.
Which the thing is huge. I mean, it's old. I don't know how much it's worth, but apparently somebody wanted to pay $500,000 or close to $500,000 for it.
Yes, it was the Campbell building.
Yeah, it was the Campbell building. Does it tell the address on it?
I'm looking at it. It says it's the former home of the Putnam County School District office and for years sat vacant.
You have to speak up. I can't hear you on the microphone.
I'm just-
It was a formal school board building before they built the multi-million-dollar school board building over there off of 17. So what did Jolie say? Yep, the Campbell building, Jolie. Anyways, they sold it for $10. If I didn't own that, hell, I would have went over there with $15 and outbid it. But I don't even know if they even took bids on it, because I'm sure if they took bids on it, that, you know, and I don't know what the law is on it, but I know they should have taken bids on it. And if they would have taken bids on the stinking thing, I would have went over there and offered $20. Hell, I'd have offered $1,000 on it. I mean, that's a big building. That would be a great place to go in there and renovate it, because it looks like a historical building for one. But go in there and renovate it, turn it into offices, and rent the place out. But even at $400,000, it looks like a hell of a deal. And especially with the property and it being right there in that triangle part, I just can't believe.
It's off from 7th Street.
It's what, off of 7th?
Yes.
7th
Campbell
Street?
Road, 200 South 7th Street in Palaca.
200 South 7th Street in Palaca. Kim wrote, that stinks like old dead fish, and Stan, good old boys network. Something going on. I mean, where in the hell can you go buy a building that's going to turn around, they sell it, you know, in one day for $10, and then all of a sudden they've got a buyer. Lift Putman comes in and they've got a buyer for it pretty much right away for $400-something thousand. That sounds kind of screwy. Skidmore wrote, so not just this Surrency guy. I don't know these guys, so my apologies if I offend anyone. Yeah, who signed off on that? Exactly why wasn't it auctioned? Todd wrote, you're wasting your time by being politically correct with them all. Only way the county is going to move is they are shown that we can share a lot of information with you, and we will save a lot of time. They are not going to budge, I promise. Oh, I know they're not, Todd. That's why I want, when I unlower the can of whip ass here, I want to make sure that I have all my facts straight, all my ducks in a row, because it doesn't make sense to me that a freaking building can get sold for $10 and then turn around and have a buyer for it for $400-something thousand. Now, there's a bunch of good old boys that I've been checking out, and there's four main names that keep coming up. And one was a banker that screwed a bunch of people in Putnam County. I'll leave that. There was another one. It's like a football game, guys and gals. You got your front line up there, and you got your quarterback, you got your linebacker, or your quarterback and your running back and stuff behind the line. So if you're on the other side, you can't see what's coming at you. You know, it's hidden back there. But when you peel back the onion, here there's some main players behind it. If you're over on the sideline like we are, you can see what's going on, but it takes a little digging. Now, I've been digging my butt off. My staff has been digging their butt off. And the main players that are behind this, I can't wait to bust this open. And when I do, you guys and gals are going to see that there's a bunch of turds, and you can't polish a turd. My grandfather told me that years ago. But you can hide a turd, but you can't polish one. And, yeah, like you're saying, Skidmore, shady. Todd wrote, Yoho, sorry. Yeah, I've got a meeting with Ted Yoho. I want to find out why that some of the stuff is going on. I want to find out when I've got emails and stuff that our Congress people were involved in Fort Gates years ago. Now I'm talking all the way back to 2002. And then when I talk to them today and find out that 1.2 million and then there was 1.5 million, there's been money allocated. Now, had our elected officials, have done their jobs, the reason that landing and the reason that barge has a hole in it, and a freaking 8-inch hole, a few of them, is because, and for you that don't catch what I'm talking about here, I'm jumping off the school board and the school building now back to Fort Gates. The landing, had been done right with the monies that were provided during Hurricane Irma. Now, FDOT said that the county had listed that it was destroyed during Matthew. Bullcrap.
No, it was not.
I call BS on that.
It was not.
I was there after it happened, after Matthew went through, was not damaged. Then comes Irma. The water came up, and then the winds, the waves coming across the river, and it flipped over, and the steel pylons went right into the friggin' barge. We have a picture of that, don't we? Of those steel bars.
So you mean to tell me that they've had money designated since 2008, and they've put the lives of all the citizens, all the tourists, all these people that are coming through, they put their lives in danger so that they could find all these other projects, and they let it go for 10 years, and then this happens because the landing wasn't tuckered down enough to that it floated away?
Yeah, we have a picture of the landing, right?
I don't know about y'all, but I'm
side.
absolutely furious. I think the county needs to answer for that. They put the money aside, having the money for 10 years, and they sat on their butts when all it needed was a few boards tightened and some extra, reassuring. It's not the wall. It's the actual landing. You can see that landing floating in the water over there.
Yeah, we have a picture of the landing where it came. It just floated apart.
I think they need to answer for that.
I'm trying to get that.
Yeah, you just had it a second ago. It was that one, looked like a dock floating in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that right there. Okay, here's the landing part that popped off.
That doesn't sit very well in my stomach. If all they had to do was fix that piece right there, and they still have that one piece to fix.
Well, that part was still good. Look in the background. The freaking
it was
barge
underneath
is sunk.
That's the landing that they needed to fix. Was that they just needed the weight? They couldn't take the weight because of the fact that it needed to be redone.
And we have pictures of where we got to find them real quick, but we have pictures of where
it actually went into
the landing, the steel part.
And the ramp went into the barge, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if they're on this part. I know they're in the video.
I might need to send that in particular picture over. Give me a couple minutes, I'll send it over.
Yeah, send that picture over to Chris so he can get it up there. But when Hurricane Irma came through, the thing floated up. It was not up to code when it should have been up to code, or it should have been repaired.
That's uncalled
now,
for.
when you got since 2002,
they're taking everybody's
and the damn
money
thing
from
has not
tourists.
been repaired. And I have an email from a guy that was working as a liaison for the county, a consultant basically, that says, "Oh yeah, I've been tracking this thing for 14 years, and I think we finally have a solution." It turns out the solution was a freaking lie. Okay, so the damn thing, it pulls apart. Bam! It slams right into the barge and pokes a hole in it. Now, that's not Captain Dale's fault, and it's not the hurricane's fault. It's that regular maintenance was not done. Now, Captain Dale, it's not his job to do something that is owned by the county, and that landing is owned by the freaking county.
They
were supposed to have done maintenance on it. They have money given to the damn thing.
And the funny thing is, I was there at the time that the money came in. I didn't know it at the time, but the community actually wanted to come together and fix that landing, but the county stepped in and said that they couldn't do it, that only the county could do it.
Yeah, there's too much politics, but nobody seemed to have gotten off their ass and done it. Now, this is previous administrations, not just this administration, but some of the people on the board are from previous administrations. So
still involved.
I can't say that it's all the county members on this administration, but I can say that since 2002, none of the fucking, excuse me,
Beep.
beep. Okay, none of the freaking I get pissed off sometimes. None of the freaking
Trust me, that was the word I wanted to
hello,
use.
Pam. I got a filthy mouth.
Yeah, we give you a timeout, potty mouth there.
Yeah, I'm getting put in timeout again. None of the county officials have stepped up. None of the state officials have stepped up and tried to keep this piece of history up. Every time I say a bad word, I get put in timeout. Nobody has stepped up to do their frickin' job. And here's the crazy thing. The frickin' money was sitting there the whole time. All they had to do is go down and put some clips, some nuts, some bolts in the damn thing and sure it up. And then they coming up with, oh, we got to put it a concrete landing, blah, 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 blah. They didn't need to. The thing lasted for 100 and something years. Well, since 1780, 1870, to be exact. And it's carried Seminoles Indian War, the second one. It's carried troops across from the Civil War. I mean, the thing has been in existence forever. Never had a problem with it.
He's got the picture. Give him a couple minutes to put that together. You can see if you look in the picture when we get that up.
Pam
where
wrote,
the
make
landing
Malacca
had hit-
great again.
Correct. The landing when it came off and floated over there because it wasn't secure like it should have been from 2008, and this is now Irma that we're discussing. The landing released the lamp because the landing was on top of those rails that were sticking up, so that released that ramp, and that ramp went into the barge and put the hole into the
Yeah,
side
swell
of it.
this up, Chris. I want them to see these pieces of steel there. Those steel beams right there are what went into the barge.
Into the barge, yes, and put the holes in the barge.
And it's because they weren't bolted down. I mean, the bolts and the things were from the 80s. Actually, from 1960-something, 68, when Gladys came through. And Gladys, now this is looking straight out across the river. You'll see the poles over there on the left-hand side. When Gladys came through in 1968, the hurricane came in, Hurricane Gladys came in and and messed the landing up. 10 days later, the county officials then, 10 days later, had that landing fixed and back up and running. Now, my question is, why was there stinking $200,000 spent on a drawing for concrete stuff when everything in all the paperwork said it needed to stay a wooden structure? I don't get that. Skidmore wrote, off subject, but Surrency hired his boss of 14 years to be city manager of Hawthorne, then renewed her contract for another 5 years and never publicly posted the position. Seems to run in the family. Steve Butler wrote, shame on you, Travis. Have a bar of soap for your potty mouth. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. I get sometimes when I get a little pissed off.
We're all aggravated about this. And you guys haven't even got into the still of what we still have hundreds of pages to read. This is what we just uncovered and what we've been personally involved with.
Skidmore wrote, they don't know how to fill out paperwork. It requires actual work. Well, the paperwork was all filled out. It's just they never sent anybody down to do the job. And that's pretty easy. If I'm a boss man, you know what? I call my guys up and I say, look, I got $1.2 million here, you know, and I pick the paper up and I read the contract and I say, okay, here, we got a grant for $1.2 million. Okay, we have to put some money in with it. Okay, that's fine. We don't need that much because it's just a landing that we have to repair. You can't tell me it's going to cost $200,000 for a freaking, almost slipped out again, for a freaking drawing, an engineer drawing. It does not cost $200,000. Maybe in New York, maybe at Trump Tower, but not in little old Putnam County. She said, I'm right there with you on the potty mouth on all this. You should hear me after I get off the air, Jolie.
We're all at that right now, y'all.
Yeah, you should have heard me today when I was reading, going through the paperwork and all this last 2 weeks. And that's why I have
Travis to let me stand in front of the board of county commissioners. He said, not yet.
Yeah, you can ask Marie. When I was sitting there reading, when I was reading all the stuff in my office, ask Marie. I have nitro that hangs around my neck.
Yes.
And I dropped how many pills? 4 or 5 nitro tablets in a couple of hours' time reading this. It made me want to puke all over the place. But Tuesday, I'm going to be at the county meeting, and I've got questions, and I want to find out. I want to find out if they'll just step aside and let the citizens do it. If you're not going to do your frickin' job, since 2002,
And they're going to lose a government contract because of it, and the government's not going to help anymore because they sat on their tails. They put people's lives in danger. That's my biggest thing.
It's like the Better
and they
Place
had money
plan.
to fix it.
You know, here we are paying for a water treatment plant out of our road money, you know, that was supposed to be going to building our roads, and we're paying for frickin' water treatment plant that it's not even in my backyard. Hell, I have well water. I don't get to drink the water over there. I like the people in East Palaca, but I shouldn't have to pay for their water, and nobody else should too. Skidmore Road, exactly. They spend time on how to fill their pockets. Kim wrote down, boy, down. Anyhow, we got the winner for the cooler yet?
For the cooler we have is...
It's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning. Where did it
Actually,
stop?
that one we got spun. The other one was for the T-shirt. Was already given out. The one that's spinning right now is for the T-shirt, but it is Kim Peoples.
Kim Peoples got what? The cooler or
She
the
won
T-shirt?
the cooler.
Okay, Kim, you won the cooler. She's Skidmore wrote, "Baby, it's over their pay grade." Who is the decision maker? That would be everybody on the BOCC, I guess. Kim wrote, "Woot." I'll try to get a couple more to give away because those are nice coolers.
Yes, they are.
But we have stuff we're giving away. I mean, a ton of stuff. We got a bunch of people, a bunch of different businesses that want to give things away now, and so we're going to start giving away more and more and more and more. Spin that thing because we only have a couple minutes to go for the T-shirt.
Just waiting to see who.
You know what? Let's give away the T-shirt and the bag together, and then we'll give another T-shirt and bag away Friday night, and I'll see if I can get another cooler from Aaron over there. Aaron is so cool over there.
Actually, that goes to Skidmore.
Skidmore got it?
Yes.
Okay, Skidmore, you got the T-shirt and the
bag.
The bag?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
And we will have more stuff, y'all. Friday night we got more giveaways.
yeah, Friday night we'll have more stuff to give away.
Sorry,
now,
we got caught up and we kind of missed the time slot. Travis, I want to read something. I know it's a little off, but we have a lot of people that are donating for Save Fort Gates Ferry. I want to thank everybody. And on one of the people who donated, I thought this needed to be said, but they wrote in, "I'm making this in memory of my husband, Kenneth Biggs, who grew up on the river and fishing with his father and working with his cousin Eddie Babbitt on the River Lights, and so many stories to tell about Fort Gates and Drayton Island as a youth." So I want to thank Ken Biggs for the donation. So
okay, cool.
I thought that was very nice. Thank you for that.
Now, if you want to donate, we're going to get with Captain Dale and stuff. There's going to be some T-shirts made, and with I forgot how much we said they had to donate on the GoFundMe. I think it's $25. They get a T-shirt that says "I survived the river with Captain Dale."
I believe it was 25. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But if you donate on the GoFundMe, the minimum is $6. $5 goes to Fort Gates, and then there's $1 that goes toward that. So if get as many people as we can to donate $5 or $6. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, and it's not a whole lot, but every $5 counts. But the most important thing, Steve wrote, "Yeah, we still need our swamp road fixed in Hoot Owl." Oh, yes, I've got to talk to you about that, Steve, by the way. I had an attorney call me. Give me a call tomorrow. Yeah, I think you've got my number, Steve. Give me a call tomorrow. I want to talk to you about that. There's an attorney that contacted me over in Gainesville that definitely wants to talk to you because of what you guys have already paid out. Well, I'll get into that Friday night too, but give me a call tomorrow because they definitely want to talk to you. They contacted me and wanted to know your name, and I didn't have your phone number or anything. The most important thing on this Fort Gates thing is not to put the blame game, on certain individuals with the county because some of them weren't there, some of them were. The important thing is that ferry, it's not just Mr. Dale or Captain Dale that owns it. It's a piece of our history. It's a piece of Putnam County, and it's a piece of the future. And we can let it die or we can keep it going. And the choice is up to us. If we have to rely on the county, they're going to just up our taxes. They're going to do everything they got to do for something they could have done tax-free pretty much on the grants and stuff. But screw that. If we go and do it ourselves, if everybody that listens to the radio show would give 50 cents, we could have already had the thing taken care of and rebuilt the landing and rebuilt the barge and the tug. If you're going to donate and you want to donate and go straight down to Fort Gates, go down there and see it. I mean, it's a piece of history. The thing is basically the same it was in the 1930s, not in 1870. Except for the buildings have got siding on them now, but some of them are the original buildings that were there.
And Captain Dale actually has books that if you want to see what the original looked like, he has a lot of memories. And please, if you have some, send them in. Let us see your pictures. I mean, we want to share them.
Or go down there and just take pictures. Take a picture on the river and of you and your kids, and that way when they get older, they can go back there and take it in front of that same barge. Hopefully it won't be busted down by then. But they can go back and take a picture in the same exact spot. There's already been people that's done that. Kim says, I'll go donate for the hog family. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you kindly.
Stan wrote, yeah, what's up with that? Did the ground settle? I'm not sure what he's talking about on that.
He's replying to Steve.
The what?
He's replying to Steve.
Yes, they're
Oh,
replying
to Steve.
each other.
Okay.
Y'all confusing Travis. He can't think straight.
Yeah, somebody wrote in, I thought the Better Place plan was going to redo that. On Steve's Road, we'll get into it. Or on, what's the name? Steve.
Yes, Steve.
Steve. On Steve's Road there, where he lives at, they went in and paved the road, and then water came out. There used to be a bridge there in 1987. The county at that time took the bridge down. They had it come in. They come in with the MVA thing, and that's where people, the residents, have to pay so much money out of their taxes every year for 10 years, and then that pays for their road to be paved. Well, whoever the screwball it was that went in there and did it, and whoever the dumbass was that did it at the time, didn't consider, let's put the bridge back in because there's a problem, and because it was a dry time then, they never put the bridge back in. So they paved, and water came back and filled over the asphalt. Now it's 2 feet deep, and cars get stalled every time they go through it, not to mention kids are walking through that crap to get to school buses in the mornings. The school buses have to drive through it. There's stagnant water on it. All it would have taken at the time, if whoever the dumbass was with the road and Parks and Roads back then, or Roadworks, or whoever it was, FDOT, they contracted out the company. If they would have just bothered to look at the drawings instead of shortcutting it, they would have seen, oh, well, hey, there used to be a bridge here. You know what? Why don't we put a culvert in and take 2 dump truck loads of dirt and then pack it down and make a road up higher so the water can go underneath it on a culvert? No, they stuck a culvert underneath the frickin' road, then asphalted over it when there had been a bridge there before, up higher than what the road is. It doesn't make any sense. My brain's getting like scrambled eggs just trying to figure it out. Anyways, we need to keep this Fort Gates thing alive. I'm already out of time. Now, before I get out of here, it's going to be cold tonight. Again, make sure you bring your pets in. Don't leave the little darlings outside. Your little kittens, your kitties, your dogs. Bring them inside. If they can't come inside, like this wild cats that I got living outside my house, then Kim wrote, no, not the video. I was trying to donate. If you go down there to Mr. Dale or Captain Dale and you want to donate at Fort Gates Ferry and you want to go drop him off a check or go hand him $1, 50 cents, make sure that you put, if you write a check for the barge and not for Fort Gates Ferry, but write for the barge on the bottom of it, because I don't want the county to come back and say, well, that was money that was supposed to go toward the landing. You know, now we're going to have to sue you or call the cops on you. So I've had that
sure
done
that
a
the
few
county
frickin'
did
times.
it. They could find good uses for it that didn't involve the ferry. So
yeah, well, I'll
they've
get
already
into that
shown
Friday night on where money's went. They're supposed to do frickin' guardrails.
Oh
I'm
my
still trying to
goodness,
pull
right?
up the funds for that. And yes, I am using the Freedom of Information Act. Anyhow, I've got to get out of here. We'll see you back here on Friday night. Make sure when you see a veteran to walk up and thank them for their service. when you see a volunteer firefighter or first responder or your sheriffs, you know, your deputies, walk up. Quit being afraid of the cops. They're not there to shoot you, no matter what color you are. Hey, go up and talk to them. If you make friends with them, guess what? They see you riding down the road. They might be a little more lenient than if you yell nasty profanity at them. Stick them the bird, you know. Hey, go up and talk to them. Get to know who your local cops are. That way, when you have to use them, which you will eventually, you will wind up using an ambulance, a fire truck, or a police officer at some time. And hopefully it's not to go to the morgue. But you will use those things at sooner or later. Get to know those people. Talk to your ambulance drivers when you see them there at the store. Don't walk up to them while there's a fire going on or while they're dragging a body out of a car or while a cop's writing a ticket. But when you see them, and they all go into the Kangaroos and Circle K's, when you see them there, or you stop by a fire station and thank them. When you go by a fire station, drop them off some Slim Jims or some water or Gatorade, something. But show your support for them, especially when the volunteers only get paid $4 to $8 a call. I mean, we love our volunteer firefighters. They go out of their way. I could go on for hours talking about our volunteer firefighters, but just thank them. Thank you guys and gals for listening. We'll see you back here Friday night with What's Pissing Me Off. We love you. We're out.
And if you guys can't,
Enjoy the music.
if you guys can't donate, please share the link and help save the business.
I'd been that good guy way too long, followed every rule, holding back instead of acting like a full-grown fool. When bad intentions came to call, I firmly stood my ground, till one day I said, screw it all, and I turned my life around. Yeah, I told my better angels they could go piss up a rope, not come back unless they brought a sack of killer dope. I'm smoking.
If you're still listening and you want a contest, we will be over. I'm go to Plaque a couple days a week. I'll meet you over there with your contest prizes, or you can pick them here at the studio in Satsuma.
Now everything that's bad for me becomes my comfort food, and from time to time I take a pill to elevate my mood. I'm coveting my neighbor's ass and things that I can't have. I bathe myself in misery like it's medicated sad. Since I told my better angels they could go piss up a rope, not come back unless they brought a sack of killer dope. I'm smoking packs of cigarettes and drinking quarts of beer, snuggling with my demons, and I kinda like it here. Burn, I won't hit the brakes, 'cause I've still got a lot to learn from my own mistakes. I told my better angels they could go piss up a road, not come back unless they brought a sack of killer dope. I'm smoking packs of cigarettes and drinking quarts of beer, snuggling with my demons, and I kinda like it here. Snuggling with my demons, and I kinda like it here. It's a real nice place. I kinda like it here. I don't care what Mama said. Intervention? What are you talking about? Refrigerator.
So your camera's already got an SD card in it.
Where does this go?
It's an extra to go in your bag.
You just gotta have to buy the bag.